Well, it is time again to get back to work on our 1975 Chevy stepside diesel. Really, really want to get this thing back together, and well, I got some parts to put the doors back together so we can get the doors together, get this cab sealed up, and I don't know where the rest of this video is going to go. This video might just be putting the doors back together right now to get this on the way. I don't know. Well, let's get to work. Well, we got some door parts and spread out for evaluation. I need to figure out what's broken and what we can reuse, or what is the best. We've got some pretty good parts here. There's a rust hole there, but that's fine. The seal covers that up anyway. Things like that. And then we got a lot of little stuff. I'm gonna have to find, this isn't all my parts, these are just the parts I've taken off the doors, and things like, is that spring intact there, or is it missing like in this one? If that's the case, that needs some help or rebuilt. So what, we've got one driver's side here, one. So yeah, I mean the chrome isn't great, but we'll clean them up. And I'll be using them. Passenger side ones are nice. I haven't stripped this door down yet, but what's this handle look like? I don't know, we might have to take that handle off and use it. That might be desirable. More desirable than the peeling chrome on this one, maybe. Anyway, little things like that. Find a set of matching door handles. That one's painted, but this is the same kind, but I think we'll reuse these. Springs are intact, everything's good on them. Chrome is surprisingly good. They'll clean up pretty good. I don't remember which locks match the key for this truck, but we'll figure that out. Of course, all the little hardware and all the lock clips survived. That's interesting. I don't have matching window cranks. I'll have to figure that out. All these little things I'll have to go through. I have another bin somewhere of door parts I'll go through, so we're going to figure out what is going to go back in these doors, and then we can put the doors back together. So we are starting with the doors as they were last time. Almost completely stripped down. The only thing I put in was the latch so that I could align it with the striker that I put in. So everything else has been stripped out of these doors completely. So we're going to put these back in, right side up. These are your kind of door vent doohickeys that go down here. So I'm going to I will put those in, and I have got a set of handles that are halfway decent. I kind of had to piece some parts together on some of the better handles, because if you're not familiar with these handle assemblies, these springs sometimes tend to rust out and go. That keeps your handle springing back into position properly. So we're gonna get the handles on. These are the locks that have the same key that came with the truck. Both locks seem to work, so we'll get them in. And then these plugs that go down here, which are, you know, at this point pretty much decorative. We did not paint over them, so they will look halfway right. And got lock clips that are in okay shape, so let's get all this stuff in the door, and then we can actually open it without reaching inside and grabbing that lock rod. I did, surprisingly, because I usually don't, spring for a new gasket set for the locks and the handles. So I don't know, we're kind of doing this halfway the right way, you know, highly unusual. All right, locks in, handles on. I'm not going to put the interior handle in yet until I have the guts of the door, because it'll just get in the way. So lock does work. Works smoothly, the original key, so that's good. Didn't have to buy new locks. Door still closes and fits hardly, but it is what it is. That's what we're going with this door. These gaskets aren't the best fitting in the world, but I guess they'll be watertight enough, so they'll work. I don't think I got the expensive ones. I think I got the cheap ones here, so that's fine. If you're not familiar with these, you pop the center out here, and the center goes over here, and the outer one goes under there. In case it's not that obvious. Oh, got to put this in. Done. It's not perfect. It's a little bit brittle from age, but it's in there now. Alright, let's do that to the other side, and then we can figure out what we're going to do for wing windows and guts for these things. Alright, that's starting to look more like a truck now. Okay, this door shuts and works much better than the driver door. Not much I can do about that, unfortunately. Probably someone with more expertise in adjusting these things than I have might be able to do it, but I cannot. So I guess let's take a look at what we have for some more door parts. This is an early glass, I believe, and this is a later glass. They're the same except for the glass thickness. And this goes for the wing windows too. The earlier ones are thicker. If you look at this, it's roughly 0.135, and if you look at this, it is 0.235 roughly. It's significant in that regard. I don't know if there's a problem with mixing and matching glass thicknesses. I'm not sure if this has better acoustic properties for blocking noise or what the deal is. I'm not sure. I'd like to have matching glass, but let me see what the passenger. I think I have one other passenger. Let me see what that looks like. I have a thin driver and a thick passenger. Not really, this one is, I don't know, it's getting a little crumbly. I'm sure they're weight-wise, I'm sure the older, yeah, there's a significant weight difference there. Alright, I'm noticing some differences in here, but just minor things that don't actually matter. That's a factory hole there, and neither of these, and these are different years, have a hole. This is thin. This is the thin glass driver's side. I mean, this is about equally rusty. Really. I don't think it matters which one I use. I think I'm gonna use a thin set. Both thin on both sides. That'll just make it easier for me because they're more lightweight. Here you can see the difference. This is the thin one, this is the thick one. It's fairly significant when you put them side by side. Significant weight reduction too, which may be the reason they did it. I don't know. Let's see how these clean up. While we're cleaning this up, I wire brushed them down real good. Rust converting them at the moment. I think maybe I'm gonna have to paint them. Those are like anodized or whatever. Galvanized? I think they might just be galvanized from the factory. Should I replace those metal pieces? Yes. Am I going to? No. I have to save every dollar in this build that I can right now, and I just, you know, those will work. And if I protect them and coat them real good and grease up the nylon, which shouldn't need greased, but it will now if I paint these, then, you know, they might last another 30 years. So I've stripped down a couple wing windows, and these were a pair I managed to save that are completely intact. And I think I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to wire brush the snot out of these things and I'm gonna rust convert them and then paint them, I guess. Again, they wouldn't be painted, they're just galvanized from the factory, but there's so many little things. I'm not going to strip them apart with the rivets and everything, and it'll be fine until it's all said and done. It'll be pretty much unnoticeable. These go under a rubber seal. Rubber gasket covers these, so you never actually get to see these. Anyway, these are down inside the door, and these parts are black anyway, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem. So I'll proceed with that. I'm cleaning this glass up, and now we get to do the fun part of putting the glass and regulator into the door without messing anything else up. I have picked the best 2 regulators, and I don't have a lot to pick from because they have to be matching set lengthwise with the shaft for the crank. There's a shorter one and a longer one, and they use different door panels. The longer ones have a door panel. They're not all the same, but they stick out. Oh my goodness, that's crumbly. You can see the door panels stick out in some areas, on some more than others. So I think the later style door panels almost exclusively use these longer ones, and that's what we're going to be putting on here. So they're not great. One of these, I think this one is really good. This one is a little loose, but that's fine, it still works. Can always replace it in the future. Unfortunately, I believe the loose one is on the driver's side, which gets used more, but it'll be fine. So that's the glass regulator and handle in for this door. Now we probably will have to loosen the regulator and, you know, readjust some things to get the wing window in, as you have to do sometimes. You gotta feed the main post down in there around the window glass, and well, yeah, it's all kinds of fun. Might have to loosen this up again, but it's in there, and you know, we'll be ready for the wing windows when we have those done. Now I was going to use these rear guides. They're a little different. They have this adjustable post here, but for some reason they don't fit. They don't align with the holes right. I would need to elongate one of the holes or something. They're supposed to be the same, and I think they mostly are. They're just a hair. And it doesn't take much to be out of adjustment, because you got to fit into, there's a little bit of a slot here on this hole, but not much, and it just needs to go down a little further or up a little bit here. All right, we're just waiting on wing windows, and then we can get the seals back in. Well, we're starting to get closed up here. Oh, we've got some new seals here. I don't know if I ordered the right ones or not. These are 1-piece. I think what I took out was 2-piece. I'm not sure if they're interchangeable or not. We're gonna find out together. So the 2-piece have crimps that go in there, and you bend them over to hold it in position. This one, I guess, just you know, forces of nature hold it in position or something. Looks like the channel crimps into there. I don't know, we're gonna find out. I need to put the chrome things on there, I think, because it's easier now. We get them. All right, so these go in like this, with the curved section up, because as it hits that, it slides down. So let me crimp these in position, and we can fit the rubber. Oh, that's because I'm doing them backwards, I think. Yep, did it backwards. That's why it's not working. Alright, that's better. Alright. Over here. This has to be fitted into the channel. Now, you can work it in around. You'll see this has a break here for the bracket. These are also Precision brand gaskets. I'm pretty sure I got it right. The only thing is this, I guess, yeah, I mean, that's aligned. Just, the angle's weird. I guess I didn't glue anything down here, so hopefully I'll have some leeway around that post when I put it in. That's what I was wondering, because this rubber hole seems to go straight, but of course the wing window pin goes like this, so, but it has to be right because of the shape of the gasket, so yeah. Okay, we'll let that adhesive dry a little bit before we move on to the wing window inserts themselves. So I picked the best wing windows, which turned out to be the ones that were originally on the truck. So these are early windows, approximately 1975-ish. And I got new frames. The problem is these frames are different shape than the window. If you look up at the top, that's not right. Down here the corner isn't quite right. The curve is a little bit out of spec. I'm curious, the wing windows must be different between generations, which I didn't know. Well, now I'm curious. I need to lay some glass side by side and see. Yeah, they are way more different than I thought. Different in a lot of ways there. There's size difference, and the shape, top and on the corner here is different. I wonder how much of this is really a learning experience, because I've never tried to mix and match parts. I've just taken it for granted that things would work over the years when I did stuff, but I was using the same, parts. Like the shape of the shape is, seems like it would fit, but I don't know. Just like the windows, these are also thicker. You can see difference there. These also have a little bit of a tint to them, which I kind of like, but well, that means I'll have to come up with a set of latches that works. I guess we're using these. Well, okay. So this is one of the early ones here, or should be, according to the latch I see in the style of the door. Yeah, this doesn't have quite the sharp curve at the top. Slightly different shape to the seal, I guess, but interesting. All right, so looks like the handles will interchange, and I think, I'm not 100% sure yet, but I think they will work with the mechanism. The only way to know for sure on that is to install it and see. So now we know what parts are interchangeable on these things, and you know, well, the answer is not a lot. Get this stuff in the right order. Backwards. Okay, then backwards. Okay. I don't think that handle is going to work. It doesn't stick out quite enough. I have to do something else for those handles. Alright, I'll take those handles off for now, or I don't know, I'll figure that out. Well, let's see if we can snake one of these down into the door. Seems like, and I know it's a problem with all wing windows and new seals, and it's a pain to get them to close, you know, the first time especially, but this is a little bit excessive. I don't know. Well, let's get some other seals in the store maybe, and then see where we're at. Well, these are the absolute worst wing windows I've ever installed. We'll get to that in a minute. I got them in. I also put in the window seals. That's pretty much easy. Just slide it into the track and roll the window up. I also put in the outside felts. The inside felts go on the door panels, which I don't have yet, but this they both don't fit in different ways. I don't know what's going on here. That's, I mean, it's like it's good up here, and then it just everything. I don't understand what I did wrong there. There's so much going wrong there, I don't even know. On the other hand, this one, I mean, it's not tight or anything. These, the heads stick out too far. I have to address those. I had to trim them. You know, the angles aren't quite right. I don't understand what's going on there. I mean, you can twist and bend and tweak everything, but absolutely horrible. I'm not sure what to do about that yet. I'm gonna have to look at that, but just junk. I mean, if you open the wing window now, it's gonna be a pain to get it closed again. I pieced together some latches, wing window latches, from what I had on hand. I had to steal some parts off the 86 utility truck. That's fine, nobody's buying it anyway. So we'll put on the door seals, and then this will be, well, I hesitate to use the term sealed up because the wing windows are absolute garbage, but it'll be close. Okay, so we've got bad wing windows on. We've got the doors almost sealed up. Let's see what we got for door seals. I did not get the cheapest ones. I didn't get the cheapest wing window parts either. And those are Precision brand seals, which are supposed to be really good. I don't know what happened there. I'm gonna rob these lock knobs from the 86 because they were brand new. So I guess, yeah, I'll start down here about there where the joint will be hidden under the strip that goes there, and I'll put them up and around. Let's see what we got there. I've detailed this before. It's a metal strip that you clamp on there, and you just kind of press it down onto the joint, and that's pretty much it. And then when you get around to the other end, you cut it to length. Let's continue with that. I'm not going to video that because I've shown it before, and well, it's pretty simple. Oh, you get around to the end here, and then just snip this, you know, there, and put the ends together, and you know, don't do a bad job, and that should be it. Let's cut that. All right, press that down into position. I just use metal snips to cut it. It's got segmented sections to bend, and you know, just cut it along one of those or close to it. So door still shut horrible? Probably. I mean, it shuts solid. And we get it open again, so let's put the seal on the other side, and then we'll be done sealing up the cab, I guess. Well, overall this door is great. Just ignore my neighbor's lawnmower over there, sorry about that. Listen to this thing shut. Nice and solid. It is. I'm quite happy with this door and how it turned out, except for the wing window. I do have to get some mirrors for this. I don't have any mirrors. We'll see. I don't have much of anything at the moment. Probably have to buy some new ones or something, but looking pretty good so far. I mean, it's not great, but good enough for my purposes. So I'm trying to re-adhere the seal to the frame. It doesn't want to stay. I did use a decent amount of adhesive the first time around, but when I installed it, it must have pushed the seal out. So I have it tucked in like it's supposed to be and glued into the frame. I'm gonna let that set. It did not solve the problem up at the tip. It actually made it worse. In an ideal world, I should probably get better seals or replace these. This one, same thing. Having trouble fitting it up here. I have a feeling if I got it to fit right up here, it would have the gap, same as the one on the other side does. I don't think anything is right about these seals. I don't know. We'll see if this fixes anything. So just like I thought with the weight inside this door, the adjustment is even worse because it wants to sag down even more. I'm gonna have to find a better adjustment for this. I don't know. I'm gonna try yet again to line this up. We'll see. Well, I'm closer. It's a little tight up there, and I don't know if I want to pull the door out this way because it'll pull the top out again. But other than that point up there, that's very close, maybe hitting, I can maybe bend this out a little bit, just tweak it to get it to fit. You know, do it the wrong way is what I'm saying. But it aligns and shuts now great. Well, maybe adjusted the striker in too far. You gotta shut it a little harder than the other side, but that's fine because it shuts nice and tight, and I think it'll be weatherproof. This gap up here is still too big, but like I said before, well, if I adjust it back so that that gap is better, then, you know, we're back to the back of the door going down. There's no way to win on that one, so I think I'm just gonna have to settle for that the way it is. I think, like I keep trying to convince myself, this might be the best of both worlds. Every time I get it in a place where I think it might be okay, I go, oh well. Anyway, we'll try it here for a bit and see how I feel about it. it looks better and it shuts better, you know, and I know that's not saying much for this door, but it's something, so we'll see. I might adjust it again, but we'll see how I feel about this one first. All right, let's take a look at these wing windows. This adhesive's been drying a long time, so I don't know. I hope it's better. Let's take this off and see where we're at. Maybe the window will actually close now. I don't know. Let's take a look. Okay, tape is off. It seems to be have stayed in position. Still tight, although it looks like it might seat into that corner a little better. Over here, yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be tight the first time to close it. Let me sit you down and well, I don't know that it closes much better. It still doesn't seat good in this corner. It's too tight. I feel like the seal is seated. Well, maybe it's not. I'll get in there. I feel like the seal was seated in the corner very nicely, but just doesn't want to seat too well into that corner. Well, I think that's as good as it gets. Sadly, I mean it's pulling up here, but goodness, it's not a whole lot better. It's pretty bad. Let's just be honest about it. It's not much better. Well, let's take a look at the other side. Let's take this tape off and see what we have here. All right, got the tape off here. Let's see. This one, I don't know, this one maybe. No, she's not much better. Oh. See, it doesn't want to go into place there. What is fighting us here? Oh, fighting us up there at that corner for sealing. I gotta wipe some of this adhesive off here. That's fine. So when I try to push it in, you can see how it's hitting up there. That's all to do with this new frame and the alignment of the frame. Without severely bending it, I can't redo that. These metal frames, I don't know. This is a very critical piece and location here, and they just, I don't know, they didn't do it very, I'm not impressed. It's just horrible all around. Everything about these, I need completely redone. I need the proper metal frames and everything else. It's just bad. Can I get it any further in down here? Love bugs. Get out of my truck. It's just so bad. So bad. I don't know what to do about that, guys. Severely disappointed. Severely disappointed. You can even see, I mean, just the angle of this is wrong because the gap down here versus up there. You shouldn't have to bend and twist this thing, and I'm worried if I bend and twist it too much, these tiny little welds that they have there are just gonna break. I'm afraid to bend it. I mean, it kind of needs to be bent, but what a mess. What a mess. Door still shuts beautifully. Well, that's all we're doing to the doors for now. At some point, we're gonna have to find some internal parts, internal, door panels and crank handles and things like that. I've got some stuff laying around. I don't know what I'm gonna come up with for that, but that's gonna be later when we get to more in the interior. We're gonna need side mirrors. I'd like to buy a new set. Can't afford that right now. That's fine, it's not hurting anything because we're gonna have to drill into that anyway, and
Well, I'm not ready to do that yet after all the work I did, so we're going to let that percolate a bit. Anyway, if you made it this far in the video, thank you for watching. Next up, I think we've got the HVAC system. We're going to do a complete rebuild on it. It needs everything. So if you want to see that, please subscribe, hit that notification bell. That'll tell you when it's coming out. And feel free to like, comment, tell me everything I did wrong per normal. I'm sure I did a lot of stuff wrong because that's what I do. At some point we're going to have to revisit those wing windows. I am not happy with that at all, not even remotely. So we're probably going to take them apart and reseal them at some point. Not yet. Again, I don't have money for new seals right now, and well, they're kind of sealed up just sitting there, and I tarped the truck anyway, so it'll be fine right now. Anyway, as always, thank you for watching.